This is Kernot, a small rural community 100 kilometres southeast of Melbourne. Surrounded by lush, rolling hills, Kernot locals are very much accustomed to dairy farming, but not on an international scale. Kernot's Glenview farm is owned by Chinese dairy giant Yoyu Dairy. Yoyu are seeking council approval to build an intensive dairy facility with a bottling plant and a 1-hectare feeding barn where cows would spend extended periods of time inside eating grain from troughs.
And why it's an interesting proposal and has gathered so much community interest is the fact that it's barn-type farming.
The facility would allow Yoyu to double its herd size and export more than 10,000 litres of fresh milk a day to China. In Europe and Asia, intensive dairy farms are common. A few already exist in Australia, but with our wealth of rich agricultural land, traditional grazing practices are still very much the norm. A group of Kernot locals have united against Yoyu's proposal. They say an intensive dairy farm is inappropriate in a region that relies heavily on tourism. Some are wary of foreign companies buying up valuable agricultural land. Others have different concerns.
Noise, pollution, smell.
You'll have disease go through these places, you'll have lots of problems.
Intensive dairy farming has also come under fire from animal rights groups, who say the practice is unnatural and unhealthy.
I think this is a really important opportunity for the industry and for Australian consumers to speak out against factory farming of dairy cows.
However, not everyone is against intensive dairy farming in Australia.
You know, it's not something new, it's done right throughout Europe, it's probably new in Australia, and I guess that's the thing we've got to sort of work through the channels to make sure that the right avenues are gone through that tick off all the right boxes.
The people of Kernot will have to wait until the 24th of June for the Council's decision on Yoyu's proposal. The Australian and Chinese dairy industries, along with animal welfare groups, will be watching on with interest. Yoyu have plans for a further 6 intensive dairy farms in Australia. Will Brown, Newsline.